the feeling you get from this is that this student in his dorm is perhaps very lonely. He is confronted with a poster about feeling sad or depressed as soon as he walks in. Nobody else is around. Is this a metaphor for life? We see cards shuffled in somebody else's hands, and this young man waits outside and inside a long, empty tunnel. I enjoyed that lighting, the flickering lighting of this long, empty tunnel. And finally, the deck is well shuffled and splayed out, and it's almost as if this young man is to be ready to go out and live life, but he is stuck, maybe in his dorm, not ready to leave his university or college. I like the idea. I'm not sure that I've got it, but at the same time, it was compelling.
It encapsulates this moment in time. When we start this short film, we go into the slow pan as we are walking towards this frame, and there's this big sign and it says feeling sad, and it's an informational board, so to speak. But then we see this journey that we see our character go on to essentially get a little comfort in his loneliness and sadness as we dive into these very long shots of following these long hallways. And what is it about these hallways that drag and bring us from point A to point B? We have our character here who is shuffling the cards and having time go on as he grows on the skill, and you find that there is a sense of magic that he is working on. So not only has he learned to like shuffle and play with these cards, but he's also learned how to create magic in his life once again, so to speak. You see that he has this sort of comfort in his own company as he sits outside the car. Seems like it's been raining. Raining can be a symbol of being reborn and going through a rebirth, so to speak. And so you kind of get to see this. Tunnels, we see him in tunnels. Tunnels also signify this transitional period, this phase from, again, getting from point A to point B. Sadness is just a journey, and you just have to really dig in and feel it and dive through it before you get to the other side.
In this black and white, we keep coming back to a deck of cards shuffling and a man moving along. And there's these vast open hallways and there's emptiness, it feels like, within this piece. And so it made me think, okay, is this representative of solitude? Is this representative of loneliness? What is it trying to say? And so that's what I gathered, was this was sort of a visual representation of uh lonely.
This is nostalgic, sad, quite somber. We speak of loneliness, expectation. The monochrome film is somehow also very cryptic. The deck of cards in perfect order. I love that scene. His despair. That scene at the school hall as well. We then go to the tunnel with the lights that have these flickering effects that was amazing. And finally, this new other hallway with different set of lights. It is very poetic, and of course, using this classical song gives a tone of even more sadness.
The score gives a sad tone. You don't need any dialogue to tell a story, and that it really shows the great editing skills that were able to put combined with the cinematography. I love the juxtaposition of the shots. It was really amazing, and it's something you don't see ever in short films, is playing with shots and editing. It's usually cut clean and dry, and the people who made this were clearly willing to play with the rules of juxtaposition and superimposition, and just to see how they could do it with working, and it's what made the film so really, really good.
Very enigmatic images that expertly build a sense of mystery. but the longer it goes on, the greater the anticipation grows. And it's really pulls you in. It kind of feels like a portrait of waiting. I feel like it creates the anxious anticipation inherent to the act of waiting perfectly. And it's very stylized. It's got a very kind of hyper stylized feel to it. So it conjures this very kind of full world. You look at it, and where what world it's set, what kind of story is going to be here, and it's just effortlessly cool, which also really draws you in and makes it kind of really really watchable.